Hello. Hello, Ruby, and hello, Spubs. How's it going? So, today we will actually attempt to beat Torneko the Last Hope. Going good, that's great to hear. I hope my controller will not make me regret the decision to try this today. Oh, I don't think we've seen this background image before. So I did some runs of Mount Fiery and the Lost Forest off stream. I actually managed not to die once, which is, great. On stream, I die a bunch when retrying them, but, well, actually Mount Fiery went pretty well, even last time. But specifically the Lost Forest gave me some trouble on stream, and then I tried again, like 2 times more off stream, and it just goes without a problem. Sure, I mean, I'm not complaining. So, with all of that prep work that we've done last time and now off stream, I managed to get our equipment up quite a bit, as you might see. So the base equipment, the metabel sword. Okay, my controller's already acting up, but as long as it's in the menu here and it calms down after a while, I think it will be fine. But yeah, the base items of the metabel sword and the dragon shield are still the same. I just got a bunch of weapons with pluses on them and melded them onto them to make their stats go up. And I even got some extra abilities on here. So we already had this as to where it won't rust and suppresses hunger. It's also anti-poison. It reduces fire damage, and it prevents thieving. That was what we already had. Now, it also strikes back against attack as a little payback, which came from a spike shield. So basically, if an enemy does physical contact with us through just a normal attack, it's going to take a little bit of recoil damage. From what I've seen, it is actually just a little bit, but maybe that's just because I haven't seen any strong attacks go against it. And with the metabel sword, I actually managed to get some abilities on there as well. When I went through the Lost Forest again, I was able to buy a dragon axe, a zombie axe, and a wind shear sword. So now our sword does double damage to zombie family monsters, to dragon family monsters, and it does not hit only the space right in front of us, but also to the left and to the right of that space. So it's like sweeping across 3 spaces at once. That's going to be the equipment that we will use on our run through the magical dungeon. The reason why I decided to actually go for the magical dungeon today and not maybe put this off until I have a new controller is look at how many fucking outside scrolls I found. That's almost a whole page of only outside scrolls. 9 of them. We can do so many runs if we really need to. So I'm just throwing caution out the window. We're also going to take the joy ring with us, which is going to give us 1 experience point every turn. I might charge up my sleep staff and also take the iron arrows with us. That's 6 items. We can take 10 with us. So I'm thinking maybe a magic red is 7, world leaf 8. Super herb 9. And a wait, tie down was okay, I can't see here. Then let me just check here. Tie down was that stops all monsters in the room from moving. Yeah, that seems useful as well. So I think these are gonna be the 10 items that we take with us into the magical dungeon. And I didn't get as much money because, like I said, I also bought the Dragon Axe, the Zombie Axe, and the Windshear Sword, which all cost like 4,000 to 5,000 gold. So this would usually be around like 77,000 if I didn't buy those. But even then, we were not close enough to the 100,000 gold that I felt it necessary to grind up for that. So I guess we will not yet see what our reward for saving up 100,000 gold would have been. But what we will now do with our money is, where was she? Here, right next to the graveyard. We are going to raise the staff use for the sleep staff. And you have will let me... Oh, it's only that little. I don't think that's actually worth it. What I am gonna do, though, is buy some level ups from her. I said I'm going to throw caution out the wind, but I'm not, like, entirely suicidal. So we will raise our level up to 5. And we have the Joy Ring. That combination should give us a good chance to reach a high level easily and make the run through the magical dungeon. Well, I don't know if more bearable would be a fitting descriptor, because I don't actually know what the run is usually like. We're gonna deposit the rest of the money though, and I guess we're not gonna take the sleep staff with us, since charging that up does actually cost a lot of money. That was the wrong button. There we go. What are we gonna take instead? We could take the skill X staff. That could be pretty nice for like enemies that can confuse us, or other types of skills that could really do us in even with a high defense. We could try the Haven Scroll, but if we trip and it falls onto the floor, it's gone, which would suck a bit. We could take a Flame Herb, which is basically a guaranteed one-shot on one enemy. I think we are going to try the Haven Scroll and hopefully just not trip. So this is going to be our loadout for the magical dungeon run. Well, why did I go into the Old man's house, that was not what I intended. I want to go to the magic dungeon. Why is the shield not equipped? It's cursed? Why is it cursed? It's... I don't... Huh? It wasn't cursed before. It had that symbol next to its name, but... like, there isn't even a reason for it to be cursed. It's great. Where did the curse come from? Oh, hello, Spooky. Look at that fucking damage. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know if I maybe overdid it a little bit. But we're also level 5 already. Oh yeah, and we should put on the joy ring. Oh, there's the stairs already. Tilted. Oh yeah, right. The items in here don't immediately tell us what they do. Yeah, the joy ring. The joy ring gives us 1 experience point per turn. Where does that go? On your finger. Ruby, get your mind out of the gutter. Now see, and there you also saw the little recoil damage on the Mad Gopher. And we've got some phantoms as well. You know, even with all the prep work that we can put in to get ready for one big push in the magic dungeon, I'm still kind of nervous to mess it up. Because if we get into a really bad situation and we die, we lose all of that stuff. The joy ring, our super strong equipment, everything. And then I will have to grind up for that again. And I don't even know where you could get a joy ring. We got that as a reward from the banker. And I have not seen one anywhere else. So I'm just hoping that with all the work we put in, this run will actually be it. Or if it isn't, we at least manage to get out with the outside scroll before anything goes horribly wrong. Ooh, an X-ray scroll. And there's a second outside scroll, so we wouldn't even lose one. We can increase our max HP. Oh, hello? Don't just walk past me, Phantom. Ah, come on. I was also considering, because I'm kind of betting everything on this run, to just meld my +6 shield with my dragon shield as well, so we would have a +33. Especially since when it comes to the sword, we don't have any backup. So you might as well go all in. But I decided against it still. Just so I maybe don't have to... Yo, Simple Raid! Hey, Simple! How's it going? Yeah, there it is, simple raid. Oh, that works. And Rainer, hello! How was Resident Evil 0? How far did you get? I checked in for a little bit when Runara raided you, and there was some sewage situation going on. Can I get to level 11 just by waiting here? Oh, you beat RE0. Nice. Like, okay, good. Basically a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, that's still decent. Sometimes you can have a better time with a 3.5 out of 5 than like a perfect 5 out of 5 if you're just in the mood for it. Oh, perfect. Level 11 on floor 2. Easy. Maybe I did prep too much. But I did hear that this game was very hard. So I guess maybe the people who were saying that this game was very hard, or like incredibly hard, didn't play the original. And so I have like a different frame of reference. Oh. Nothing rusted. Oh, see, that's where our Dragon Shield's won't rust ability comes in. Otherwise, that would have put it down to plus 26. Or maybe even lower. I don't know. Maybe it scales. Because that's one thing I saw. I got a... What are they called again in this one? Basically a scroll that raises the attack power of our current sword. And I already had the Metabel sword at plus 32. And I thought, oh nice, that's gonna get it to plus 33. Instead we got to plus 35. It just gave it a boost of 3 points. I don't know if that's like a random chance, similar to how the seeds work in the regular Dragon Quest games. Ah, okay, we still can't hit you in the wall. Or if it was actually like it scales with how strong... Oh yeah, that was the acid acid trap. I was like, what the fuck is that? Why is there a water droplet there? But that's just the symbol for the acid trap. But yeah, in case you don't know what it is I'm playing here, this is Torneko The Last Hope, the second Dragon Quest mystery dungeon game with the Japan-only Torneko no Daiboken being not only the first Dragon Quest mystery dungeon game, but also the first mystery dungeon game ever. After that, they made like Shiren the Wanderer and Chocobo Mystery Dungeon as well before they made this. Hi, Melly! How's it going? But yeah, they made the Torneko no Daiboken one first, then Shiren the Wanderer, which is like a mystery dungeon only series. And then the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon as a crossover with the Final Fantasy series. Ah, that's what it's called, the twin hits. If we use this, we strengthen it even more. This time it was only 1 point, so I guess it is a roll. Similar to how the seeds work in the mainline games. Bread roll? Not bread roll, bread scroll. I think turns everything an item. Okay, not everything, an item, so that is a gamble. Could be really useful if we're close to starving, but we don't want to risk it in case it hits one of our good items. But yeah, so this is a mystery dungeon spin-off of the Dragon Quest series. The second one, to be precise. And in this one, it is still so that every time you enter the dungeon, you normally start at level 1. I say normally because we started this run at level 5. Because you can actually buy level ups in a shop outside of the dungeon in the town. And at that shop you can get your level up to a maximum of 5 if you are ready to pay 1,000 per, not even per level. You would probably pay 2,000 just to get to level 2, and then it's 1,000 per level. Because to get to level 5, you have to pay 5,000 gold. But yeah, usually you start at level 1, so there's no real level grinding in that sense. Instead, what you can do is get better equipment, and through melding your equipment together, improve the stats of your starting equipment through those means. If the curse, restore HP, cure poison, escape outside. We don't need any of that. Nice. And so before I entered this, the magic dungeon, which is the original mystery dungeon from the first game, I got my sword and shield up to plus 35 and plus 27 respectively. And I also got this joy ring with me, which makes me level up just by walking around, basically. And with all of that combined, I'm hoping that we can beat this place here, because it is the last dungeon in the main story of this game. I don't know how long this is actually gonna take, so today might be a shorter stream just because we managed to get through this really quickly. It might also be a long stream just because I take a bunch of attempts. Who knows? That's something for us to find out together. And in case this run does go wrong, I do have this here, an outside scroll. If you've played the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, this is basically an escape orb. You can use that to escape the dungeon at any time without a penalty to your money or items. Because usually, if you die in the dungeon, you lose half your money and all your items. That, in combination with all the work that goes into melding good equipment, makes losing very punishing. So if you're attempting a run like this, it is probably a good idea to always have an outside scroll in your backhand. What I'm doing here is I'm pressing the circle button and the X button at the same time, which makes me wait and pass a turn. I'm doing that to kind of get some more experience in, because it's not only that I get experience by walking around, but specifically for every turn that passes. And if you don't know how the turn system in Mystery Dungeon games works, basically, only if you do something does a turn pass. You can attack, you can move, you can use an item. And if you do something, then all the enemies will also move or attack. So if you're in a situation where you kind of want to figure out what the best move is, you can just stand still and the enemies won't like rush you down. So you can put a lot of strategic effort into this. Antidote, don't need that. And if you have lost some HP, you can also fill those up by walking around or by waiting. Which is usually what you'd use the button combination of circle and X for. So you can use it to wait around and fill up your HP if there's no enemies around. All of that comes at the cost of your belly, though. Our hero Torneko is a hungry man, and he does put a lot of effort into his spelunking and dungeon crawling escapades. So he does need a full belly, otherwise he will start slowly taking damage. Your belly slowly loses its contents, I guess. So you become more hungry the more you walk around in the dungeon, the more time passes, the more turns pass. And after a certain amount of time, you will need to eat something, otherwise you will start losing HP. Oh, there was an arrow up. So if we go like this, we can let it move to us without any problems. Oh yeah, you can move and attack at the same time, right. Got a Krabbis. And our belly is almost empty, so we're gonna eat a magic bread here. Oh, that's what the magic bread... That kind of sucks. I thought the magic bread would be like the huge bread, where it fills your belly completely. But, because it's more expensive than the big bread, you also get some extra belly for the rest of the run. Okay, so that's not what I intended it to be, but we can also use this because us not getting hungry on this floor means we can use the entirety of the hard turn limit. Because every floor has a hard turn limit of 2000. If you spend 2000 turns on a floor, you will just get thrown out and it's going to count as if you died. So that way, even if you don't become hungry, you cannot spend an eternity on one floor. Oh, boulder. That does a clean 5 HP every time. And there's another one. Very Looney Tunes-esque. So what we can do now is basically just stand here. Not if there's an enemy coming. Stand here and wait. Every few turns there's gonna be an enemy that we just need to get rid of. And then after a certain amount of time we should get a warning that basically tells us like, oh, something is stirring. But until that happens, we can just get more experience points. Oh, yeah, you can attack me from that corner as well. That makes sense. Okay, we have 3,948 experience points. Let's just get to level 18 here. Actually don't know what the warning is like here. There we go. That was probably like at level, at 4,200 experience points. You get that level. I'm definitely feeling very safe with our current standings. What I am afraid of, though, is that we don't get any more bread, and our one big bread is not gonna be enough for the rest of the trip. So I would like to maybe see some extra bread. Because our damage output is friggin' great. I'm not even gonna try to talk around it. Like I said, I think I maybe over-prepared a little bit. Because we're just destroying everything. But who knows, maybe the lower floors of the dungeon will require me to be this overpowered. Because so far we have not seen anything new yet. We have just seen everything we've seen before in one place. The only real new addition to this dungeon is that there's some items where we don't immediately know what they do. Because they have names like the tilted pot. I don't know what the tilted pot does. We're getting hungry again because the magic bread actually does not do what I thought it did. Maybe that was like an attempt to fix an item from the first one, the first Torneko no Daiboken, which was a ring that just made it so you didn't get hungry ever. And the magic bread is kind of an attempt to fix it because it doesn't fill your belly that much, but you don't get hungry for the rest of the floor. Can you? No, you cannot feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Plating? I did not know that the plating scroll was still a thing here. That basically gives your shield gold plating, which makes it so that it no longer rusts. Trapdoor. Took 5 HP damage and we're on the next floor. Okay. But yeah, the plating scroll was basically what you would use to improve your shield in the first Torneko no Daiboken, instead of having the melding ability. I was just kind of ignoring that arop there. The arop. The ROP. I don't exactly know what the name is supposed to be. Wait, if I attack here, does that hit both of you? It does! Okay, so that's how that works. That's a blank scroll. Blank scrolls are very interesting because you can basically give them a name from every other scroll you've used before, and it will just become that scroll. So for example, if I want... Oh! The stores are here as well. Sadly, the item was a monster. Hello, Mimic. Silver and Confuse Axe. Nothing interesting. That's too bad. I was kind of hoping that guy would maybe sell me some bread. That would have been nice. But good to know that the shops are also a thing in here. So if we run low on resources, we can hope for a shop to save us. The thing about the shops is they only ever have one entrance, because if you take something from the items there, the shop owner gargoyle will block your exit of the shop until you pay for the items. And there goes our big bread. Belly became full. Now we would really like to see some more bread. Okay, floor 11. Okay, there's the way down, but I do want to look around. Oh no, we have you. Which means we might just also see my least favorite enemy so far, the Berserker. The gimmick of the Berserker is that it will also kill other enemies. And for every enemy the Berserker kills, it gains a level up. So it can level up just like you. And 2 streams ago, oh, there he actually is. But we got him before anything happened, so that's nice. 2 streams ago, my final run ended by me running into a Berserker and the Berserker just one-shotting me at like 56 HP. Now, granted, that Berserker was at like level 4. And I was not at level 20. So maybe that won't happen like that again. But, you know, with some bad luck, we might just run into a horribly, horribly overpowered Berserker. That can always happen. But so far, they seem to be completely fine. Maybe I should equip the nice 69 iron arrows. Because that way I can just fire them with the L1 button. And take out some enemies from a distance. We're not gonna interrupt the game. Oh yeah, wait, did I think I remembered bringing, yeah, I did bring the world leaf with me. So if I were to die from, there's a Berserker leveling up, okay. If I were to die from, like, hunger or something, we could just, honestly, I'm just gonna go down before I have to deal with a really strong Berserker. Yeah, I can deal with you. Yeah, if we die from hunger, we can just revive, and then our belly is full again. Oh, there's a Berserker at level 3. Don't like seeing that. We're just gonna walk around a little bit more. I think you're the one at level 3. So now we should have gotten rid of that. Hopefully. Tenzuk. That one was called a Tenzak in Dragon Quest Monsters, I think. So they did change the name up a bit. Oh, a golem! Hey, we didn't see you in the dungeon where you're supposed to be. So that's fun. Okay, so if we attack here, we take both of you out. Yep, that works. Nice. Oh, there's still army ants here. I think army ants have the very funny ability of eating through the walls. How's our belly doing? 76. I think we're gonna go down, because we still have quite a bit of dungeon left to deal with. So while I want to explore and level up, I don't want to spend too much time on any given floor. And the game is being... Oh, hello. The game is being very generous with how close it spawns us to the staircase every time so far. Hear all. That makes it so we know the locations of monsters. But I don't think we need that in our stacked inventory. It's very funny to have this voice sample here for the music. And then in an earlier dungeon we had like this very goofy do 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 do. It's like two sides of the same coin of early voice sampling in video game music. Well, this game was in was it 1999 or 2000? Maybe it was 1999 in Japan and 2000 in the US. That sounds right. What are you? Oh? Okay. You can swap our places. But yeah, 1999 is actually not that early when it comes to voice sampling. Ouch, a mine. Mines will always deal 50%. Sure hit. Sure hit sounds like that never misses. Yeah, that's really fucking good. But it's also 10,000 gold, and I'm not in a position where I can meld. Oh yeah, there's no more room, right? Hey, could you please leave? I'm trying to shop. Do I have something? I guess I can take the herb. I do have 2 super herbs. And then I can get the strength. Yeah, that's okay. Hey, you. Can you maybe get out of the way? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I just want to leave this place. Hey. Hey. Come on. Let me leave. I've paid my... Thank you. Okay, and then I can take the strength seed. We now have a strength of 9. Our sword gives us 49 attack, our shield 34 defense. We are level 22. I think we're doing okay. Like I said, I don't know how challenging the lower floors of the dungeon get. So I'm maybe being more cautious than I need to be. But it is also really fun just to see how strong you can become. Okay, nothing down here. Max HP dropped. Oh, you are mean. But I do remember that from the first game. Oh. Someone. Let's see where that someone is. We did hit someone. So that's a shadow. Shadows are also an enemy that was in the previous Torneko Mystery Dungeon game. Oh, the Executor seems like it would be a stronger version of the Berserker. I don't like that. But at least he seems to be sleeping a lot. But yeah, when you see someone and you take damage from what seems to be thin air, that is a shadow. Shadows are quite mean in this game because you don't see them. You don't know from where they are attacking exactly. So you kind of have to guess, unless you use an item to see them. Like for example, the Hear All scroll should reveal the position of a shadow as well. Oh, what is this? It looks like we need a key. I remember that from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon as well. Neat to know that that was from this game as well. Yeah, so basically the shadows are enemies that you really would much rather encounter in the corridors, because then there's only so many places where they actually can be. We don't want to interrupt the game. There's only so many places where they actually can be. While in an open room, they might as well be anywhere. Well, the dance trap kind of sucks, but luckily we did not encounter any enemies during that. How's our belly doing? 56. Oh, it's going down. I think we might be getting to a point where the Joy Ring is not as useful to us anymore, because 1 experience point is not that much anymore. And I do think, let me just check if it maybe says something about that. Earn 1 experience. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about us maybe losing more belly from that. Okay, the Enchanter is really pissing me off right now. Especially with the confusion. Ah, come on. There we go, we got him. Now we just get rid of the confusion. Hi there. Poison arrow, but we avoid the poison, which is another thing that our shield can do. I'm split. Maybe we do just go down, but we could also find a shop or maybe some bread. Maybe that's worth the gamble. It does not look like it is worth the gamble. What do we have here? Antidote. You know what? We're just gonna chew that. That should give us... yeah, it gives us a little bit of belly. Okay, Seribot just banned some spam, so that's good. There we go. Now I can do stuff in the game again. What do you have? Eye drop. You know what? We're just gonna eat all the herbs that we find. Oh, the eye drops also make it so that we can see the shadows. There's another enchanter. As long as you do not confuse me, we're good. Okay, let's go down to floor 17. Sadly, no bread on this one. Maybe you have some bread for me. No, but a ring. A barrel ring. I don't want to risk that being something cursed. So we're just gonna move on. There's a sword. Monster was resurrected. That can happen if they leave behind these gravestones and another monster comes by. But it is specifically the undead monsters that can have that happen. Scale shield, parry shield, upper scroll. That's another mimic. Slow staff, sleep staff, and terrify staff. I think we're gonna get the upper scroll. Oh, right, there's no more. Ouch! No more room. Oh, you know what we can do? We can drop the items that we'd want to keep and then use the bread scroll. We're gonna drop this here. Drop this. We just need to remember to pick it back up. Oh, we can't put our shield on the ground, right? We can't put this down either. Drop the outside scroll. Drop the world leaf. And I think everything else should be fine to keep. And then we read the bread scroll. Oh, we can choose what we want to turn into bread. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. We're gonna use the tilted pot. Okay, I thought it was gonna be something at random. That makes that so much nicer to deal with. I think I still don't want the Morganite ring because I don't know what it does. I'm gonna get the upper scroll. And then... where is it? There it is, upper scroll. Strengthened, and its curse was lifted. Okay, so it's now no longer cursed, and it's plus 28. And we do have another big bread. Okay, I feel a lot more calm knowing that we can fill our belly normally once more. Okay, so it seems like the Robuster can attack twice, but only move once. If I'm understanding this correctly. Which seems completely fine. And that is floor 17. Okay. Floor 18. We have a bronze shield. We have some wooden arrows. And... oh, well, we are not going to explore floor 18, I guess. Oh, hello. What's there? Iron Ant. Okay. And the Gigantes, which we don't... that's the first enemy we haven't killed in one hit. So they are actually getting a lot stronger now. Yep, we actually did need all of that preparation. Hurl the bronze shield. Hello? Get the super herb. We now have 3 of those and a world leaf. Seems fine. There's another iron ant. Oh, hello, Archdemon. Oh, no, that was a copycat. That makes sense why it did only so little damage. Trap failed to work. Okay, so starting at floor 19, we are running into what I would consider dangerous enemies. That might become our demise if we aren't careful. But if we just keep up our good behavior, take out every enemy we find, walk around and explore the floors a little bit before moving on, I think we can get into a position where even they aren't a problem. Oh, trap failed to work, but that wouldn't have done anything anyways. So that's fine. Okay, we have another interrupt point. We're not gonna do that though. And we are now on floor 20. Okay, that's a Gigantes down. That's an agility. I keep calling them agility devils. They're actually Argentum devils. So silver devils. Oh, and that's a miss. That sucks. And it can attack twice. We are just gonna take that out first. Then the Archdemon. And there's 2 more enemies here. But with some arrows, we can take them out as well. And we have another outside scroll. Mud caused bread to rot. No, my bread! I worked so hard to get that bread. Damn, the Archdemons really hit hard. Come here. Belly of 23. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna explore this floor. Instead, we're going down to floor 21, where our surroundings change again. This looks more like, I don't know, some kind of icy cave, maybe? Getting hungry. Just when our bread started to rot. I don't like that. I think that slightly reduced hunger, but will make you sick. If we eat that, we take some damage. Became unable to see properly. Oh, so it has different effects. Well, at least we know that those are gonna be enemies here. Oh, that's an Argentum Devil. Oh, and there was a Revirock that must have revived that guy. Just judging from the name. Maybe it was the jellyfish, which seems to be a cure slime, and we can see normally again. Okay. Archdemon taken care of. Gigantes. Okay, so that was probably Gigantes that we took down there that was revived. Hi there. X-ray scroll? Oh, no, turntable. Okay, we're no longer confused, so we can just walk around that trap now. And there is the way down. I would still like to maybe find another bread scroll or something. Because that turning moldy was really, really bad for us. Please? Maybe? Oh, come on. I could have taken them both out, but the ability triggers before it takes damage there. Okay. Another acid trap. So that would have been a -3 already if we would actually take something from that. Okay, we're not gonna walk all the way over there again. So now we are gonna get to the stairs. Oh, hi. Oh, how many experience points do we have? 23,800. That is wild. Hi, come over here. Ah, that's a miss. And there we go. Archdemon taken care of. Argentum Devil has a dance herb. I almost ate that, but I don't really feel like dancing. Okay, so I guess the Gigantes has like 65 HP. Since we did like 63 and then the spike shield damage took it out, which was only like 3 points. So it has like 65, 66. Something along those lines. Oh, and we have something eating through the walls again. Do we still have an iron ant here? That's gonna connect that over there. Here we have an empty room. Sleeping gas. But nothing happened while we were asleep. Oh, hello. Don't mind me interrupting your time as a pair or something like that. Oh! Oh, what's going on here? So this is where everyone was hiding, I guess. X-ray. And some herb. Strength seed. Oh, let's go 2. Strength 10 and our belly filled a little bit. Trap failed to work. Oh, but no, we don't. Oh, not another turntable. Okay, but we didn't step on it again, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Okay, floor 23. I think this is where the original game started getting really mean. Okay, we've got a bomb crack. If we can, we do want to take that out from a distance. Yeah, like that. Okay. Trapdoor. Well, I guess we're not exploring this floor. Mystifier, okay. And a someone. Goodbye, someone. Oh, that's a bomb crag. Okay, it didn't explode there, though. Okay, maybe it's just not as weird anymore with the timing when it actually explodes like it was in the first one. Maybe now it actually is like, oh, when it's... Oh, thank you, healer. I guess. That was nice. How's our belly doing? 23. Floor 24. I think we're moving on. Dragon, hello. Oh, that's a one-shot on a dragon. Yeah, I think we're doing really good for us. Oh, we got warped. And we stopped moving. Oh, that's so mean. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, now if we hit like this, we miss the dragon. That's nice. And then we don't face the dragon anymore, so that's also nice. And we're gonna use a super herb here. Woo! HP fully restored. So the dragons are definitely dangerous. Even though we can one-shot them. Well, maybe there it was more because we weren't even able to move. Oh, but they give a lot of experience points. Oh, eyeball. Yeah, you can confuse. But because we can attack 3 spaces at once, we have a bigger chance of actually hitting them. And I'm not going through a weird maze room with spikes. You can forget that. Okay, floor 26. Another interrupt spot. We're not gonna interrupt. Oh, and it's the same music, but our surroundings have changed again. That's a club. We don't need a club at this point. A trapdoor. Okay, I guess we're not exploring floor 26. Oh! Can you sense them? Vile monsters are on this floor. Okay, so floor 27 is the bad part. We're gonna tie down everything here. Incapable of movement. Okay. Now we can take our time. Hopefully. And we're frozen. Only for a turn. That's good. What do we have here? A dragon. Just gonna move to you in a way that you can't attack us. Big Tum. Raises belly capacity by 10. Sure, could have used that earlier, but at least it fills our belly somewhat. Sleeping gas. Okay, fine. Also, I guess now we can stop using the joy ring here. And that's level 30. Another sleeping gas trap. Okay. What do we have here? A healer. You know what? We're just gonna leave the healer be for... Oh, so you can attack us. Well, I guess we're not going to leave you be. Another Ravi Rock. But nothing that can confuse us, so that's nice. Okay, and then we have you. Are you the Darkevil Chest? Why are you covered in white goop? I don't like that visual. know what? We're gonna become faster. Then attack you. And that spawns a bunch of enemies around us. Okay, nice. Let's try to go for this. Revirock and a dragon. But it seems like we should be fine. Super herb. Yeah, especially if the dragons drop stuff like that. I might start eating that just for belly. And we have returned to original speed already. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of damage. You know what? We're gonna eat a super herb just because we took that much damage from that. Ouch. Spikes. No longer confused. Okay. Do you still do that if we attack you from a distance? Yeah, you do. Just take those guys out. Okay, we still have someone here. Oh, that sucks. My shield doing that is what makes the Darkevil Chest not take a lot of damage. Okay, and you're charged. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Can I, like, maybe get to you? No, you are always following me with your eye. I don't do a lot of damage with... Can I throw this at you? Okay, yeah, the Darkevil Chest is confused. And it's gone. Level 32. We keep winning every time we attempt a dungeon for the first time seriously. Let's go. The melody of joy sounded from the Banish chest. The lingering atmosphere of evil faded away. From beyond the melody, Nina's prayer is heard. May the gods please return him to me safely. From beyond the melody, Paulo's voice is heard. Papa, please, come back soon. His family needs him, and he starts levitating and breaking through every single floor of the dungeon. Woo! Succeeded and returned safely. I was completely prepared to do this like 2 or 3 times. Oh no, every time we attempt to seriously take down a dungeon for the first time, we do it. Torneko failed? What are you talking about? Even for Torneko, it may have been too heavy a burden this time. But that's not right. Torneko fought for all of us. Why? Why? What are you talking about? I should have gone with him. I I feel I was derelict in my duties. To protect his beloved people and lead them to happiness, that is the mission of a true king. I shall take it upon myself to return peace to my kingdom. Sire, allow me to join you. But wait, your majesty, what would become of the kingdom if something were to happen to you? If that happens, you be the king. Rally the troops. It's Torneko! Hello, did I miss anything? Oh, you did it! You did it! I knew you'd do it, Torneko! Torneko! Magnificent! You are a true hero! I keep mixing up the Baron and the whatever, still. So, how was it? What kinds of monsters were there? What was the dungeon like? And... Oh, he said... so the king is like Laios. Sire! Can you eat the monsters? There are many people waiting for Torneko's return. Ah, yes, that's true. I'm sorry, excuse my rudeness. Torneko, you should be on your way. However, I want you to tell me all about your adventure later. Agreed? You can just watch the VODs.
Hello, sweeties. Yes, ma'am? Is there a man named Torneko in this village? Yep, but Papa is away right now. Oh, is that right? So, sweetie, you're Torneko's... I'm not sweetie, I'm Paolo. And I'm Lulu. I'm sorry, but your father's out, is he? That's a shame. Paolo and Lulu, may I ask you to do something for me? Please pass along my thanks to Torneko. Thanks to the Joy Chest, happiness has returned to our poor village. I wanted to thank him for that. Okay, sure. When Papa comes home, I'll be sure to tell him.
He's such a good boy.
Lulu too.
She thinks she's part of the team.
Thank you. I'll leave it in your trust.
Oh, holy, the music is getting really loud.
Okay, bye. Take care. Live a long life.
Paolo is just really trying to get rid of her.
Thank you. You be good too.
The atmosphere of evil. It's gone. There is no need for words, Torneko. You have done well. Neither a soldier nor a warrior, you, with that blubbery belly, excuse me. Why is everyone still fucking body shaming him? Why are you dawdling? Do you mean to keep your family waiting forever? That Torneko, it would be a shame if he remained a merchant what he could attain as a warrior or a mage. Hey, what is happiness? Huh? Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? For some reason I feel tremendously happy. I wonder why. Come to think of it, me too. It's strange. Yes? I love you. No, don't bite me. Dear. Welcome home. I'm sorry. Why?
Papa, welcome home. Huh? Mama, why are you crying?
It's strange, isn't it? I wonder why.
Oh yeah, Papa, I met this old lady earlier.
What? An old lady this time? Well, what does she want?
What's wrong? No, it's nothing to worry about. It will be alright, no matter what happens. Huh? Isn't that right, dear? We'll keep working and living together happily, the three of us. Paolo too. Yep.
Yeah! Peace sign, let's go. And that's credits! That's another one down. And that's a really short stream. And this time I don't just want to start up the next mainline game afterwards. Huh. Well, this game was definitely not as hard as the first one. It was still quite challenging at some points. There was some bullshit happening at some points, especially with that Berserker one-shot. That moment is gonna be burned into my brain. Oh hey, Nob Ogasawara as localization specialist. I'm pretty sure that person has worked on the Pokemon games as well. It's always neat if you see recognizable names in credits. And hey, 1999 was correct. END. Yeah. What now? I kind of want to save up post-game for a later point, but maybe we'll just check around a bit. See what has changed. And maybe take on the bigger challenges at a later point, but for now I consider this game to at least be beaten. Even though you restored peace like always, you just can't sit still. But dear, I think I must have come to like you, how you are always chasing after something. I think I must have come to like how you are always chasing after something. That's what she said. Come on, let's go inside. Do we get another statue for Darkevil Chest? Yep, there it is. You're itching to go out exploring again, aren't you? I can tell. Here you go. We obtain a big bread. Take care, dear. Yeah, that was kind of missing. In the first game, it was always that you would talk to Nina to get your big bread for the day, your lunch. In this game, that wasn't the case. We just got it when we entered the dungeon. I heard, Torneko. You went into the magic dungeon again. Aw, just once I wish I could taste some of the bread you find in dungeons. That is not the part that I would find interesting, but okay. Listen, Remy's shop now has a job change service. I should become a merchant like you, Torneko. Torneko, this is what I think. Maybe it was the power of love that made it possible for you to save the world. Why do I think so? What else am I supposed to think seeing you and your family? Aww. And now we can just open the box of happiness and listen to the music again. Aw, ain't that nice. Okay, we found some items. Can probably sell this, and this, and this, and this. Maybe also this. This as well, and this, and this. Let's go. 7,000 gold. We can store the other stuff here. But yeah, I think the joy ring was really necessary to have there. Well, we still don't have enough money to get the next reward. Maybe we'll just do some some extra runs to grind up the money to see what that does. But hey, we have now beaten the magical dungeon. And the music just keeps playing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you know what? I don't feel like 1.5 hours is nearly enough. I cannot check my items on that map. Okay, so I have my equipment and I have an outside scroll. With that in tow, we can enter Mount Fiery, no problem. Oh yeah, right, we can only take 2 items there. Oops. I guess we'll just leave the outside scroll behind, because the strongest enemies in Mount Fiery are still no match to our equipment. It would be really funny if we just beat the final dungeon and then lost our really strong equipment. So, for me to tackle any, like, post-game content, I would have to grind up again. But I just hope that's not gonna happen. So yeah, now we're just gonna do some Mount Fiery runs to grind up the money for 100k in savings. That's kind of a anticlimactic ending, but I don't want to end the stream after just 1.5 hours. Like I said, I was fully expecting that to be like 2 or 3 attempts. I was not ready for it to be over after the first one, even though at this point I should expect that, because I guess I'm just that good at Mystery Dungeon. But yeah, that would have been, like, if you consider how long we took on our first run, that would have been, like, 3 hours, 4.5 hours, something along those lines, if we actually took, like, 2 or 3 runs. And that would have been a good time. Good stream time. It would have felt good ending after that. But no, I'm just too good. So now we're just gonna grind up some money. Because what else are we gonna do? We could do the well. And there was something we were told about the magic shop having some class change system now. So it seems like there's still quite a bit to do in this game, even after finishing the story. But just like with the mainline games and Dragon Quest Monsters, I do consider the game beaten after finishing the main story, and might just return at some point to do the post-game. Like, the only exception to that was Dragon Quest IV, because 4 in the remakes has, like, a full-on new ending and everything. And, like, additional story content. Not just like, oh, here's a really strong new boss in a dungeon that's kind of cobbled together from other assets in the game. well, you still have that, but then you also have the additional story content, which the other post games kind of lack a bit. So that's why I did 4, but not the other ones yet. But at some point I do wanna go back and beat all the like post-game super bosses. I think the only game where that would be like a real Sisyphean task would be Dragon Quest IX. And yeah, 100%ing any of the games seems like even more ridiculous. I could maybe do something like that with the first Dragon Quest monsters. Like trying to 100% the library. But that would be a lot of grinding, mostly. And I really don't know how interesting that would be to see, especially for such an old game. There's other post-game content, not just like basically trying to complete the Pokédex. There's new gates and everything that I want to go back to at some point, but yeah, all the post-game stuff seems like something that I would kind of put together, because none of it is like extremely long. Maybe I'll do it like for like a milestone. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like at 200 followers, I'll do the big post-game bonanza marathon or whatever, where you then try to do all the post-game stuff from the games I've already beaten. That would be kind of funny. Well, not all the games, but like Dragon Quest specifically. I think that would be kind of a fun idea. Having all of them be back to back. Having to readjust to the power level of any given game. Because they are all quite different. Both in how strong I am in my save file and how strong the game expects you to be for the post-game content. And we got an outside scroll there, that's nice. But yeah, speaking of how strong the game expects you to be, now I do kind of wonder if I overdid it and if I did, by how much. When it comes to grinding in this game. Because like it just didn't feel as challenging as the first game, but there were definitely still enemies that like would have been a problem if maybe my shield had like 5 to 10 less pluses. So I think the game does expect you to do some grinding to get the most out of melding. But maybe it doesn't really expect you to use the joy ring as much as I did. So you're maybe supposed to level up not quite as fast in the magic dungeon. And then, even with the pluses on my weapons, it would have been like a more quote-unquote fair fight. I still had some points in that final battle where I went down from like 170, 180 HP to like 50 with 4 enemies around me. And being surrounded like that is definitely scary. If I didn't have these super herbs that I collected, that would have just been lights out. Now I did also bring a world leaf with me, but that's also something that you can't expect the player to have. So I guess maybe I didn't over-prepare, but since I prepared like the exact right amount, it did feel like I over-prepared because I heard so much about this game being incredibly hard. But as I said before, the people saying that this game is really hard were most likely people that didn't play the first one. Because a lot of it is like reviews from when this game came out in the US. And the first one didn't come out in the US. So I'm guessing the reviewers didn't even touch that one. Because I do consider the first one to be quite a bit more difficult. It has some more broken items. Well, maybe considering this game has the joy ring, it kind of balances out. Because the joy ring seems pretty broken as well. But yeah, the first one has like that other ring that makes it so you never go hungry, which means you can spend a long ass time grinding. And you don't even have to worry about bringing food with you or finding food. So that's an incredibly broken item that they kind of took out of this one and I guess tried to fix. Oh, well, goodbye items. Tried to fix with the magic bread that does the same for only one floor. I still cannot believe that I just kind of assumed the magic bread would be like a huge bread, but just make your belly even bigger. You know what? We're just gonna eat this from the floor because we can. Yeah, I kind of just expected the magic bread to just do the same as the huge bread. And that was just gonna be that. How wrong I was. And it almost screwed me over. Especially because we then got hit with the moldy bread. I was really worried about my hunger running out at the end there. But I guess that just made it more of a nail biter after the actual run through the dungeon. Was probably not all that exciting to watch because I was just one-shotting everything. But I kind of still feel like that was the intent. Because, like, the Argentum Devil, the Archdemon, and the... whatchamacallit, the freaking dragon still hit pretty hard. And now consider, I have the dragon shield, which already reduces fire damage. I still took, like, a bunch of damage from the dragon's attacks. Specifically the fire attacks. The ones that it can use ranged. I don't even want to know how hard that would have been if I didn't have the reduced fire damage. There's another bread. Yeah, but I think I do have a good amount of items that I can sell. I don't know, maybe a bank scroll would be even better. I'm just not sure for how much they sell, but it seems like scrolls in general command a hefty price. So finding a bunch of them seems like a good way to make some money. running into a bunch of iron turtles, but not even worrying about it. That's nice. Oh, and here we have 2 of them in a row so that we can hit both of them. Damn, this 3-hit thing is incredibly nice. But it really has the most value when you're confused. Because, well, when you're confused, you just hit into a random direction, not the one you're actually facing. And so, with that effect on your sword, you have a higher chance of still hitting something when you have the enemies around you. So it's kind of good to not really counter that, but mitigate the negative effects of confusion a bit. Oops. That was actually why I even specifically set out to find the wind shear sword. I did not just randomly decide, oh, I should go into the Lost Forest again and look for some stuff. Well, I did that once. And got the zombie X and the dragon X sword. Oh yeah, right, I also have double damage on dragons and zombies. That was probably also kind of necessary for the final dungeon, because specifically the dragons, I don't even want to know what would have happened if we didn't do double damage to them. But yeah, for the wind shear sword, I specifically went to the Lost Forest to look for it. Luckily, I didn't need to go into it a lot. I think I only did like 5 runs off stream, which probably would have just been another stream in between last time and today. So I don't think there's that much that you missed. And especially considering it was all dungeons that you've already seen, was just me running through them again, trying to boost my equipment up. Not that interesting, really, from a viewer point. So I think me just getting that prep work in and then facing the final dungeon was a good decision for the stream, even if I did then just beat the dungeon on the first try. But hey, I also managed to kind of learn to play around my controller a bit. Ouch. Not around the boulders, though. As to where I'm specifically avoiding using the analog stick now. I was just completely used to using the analog stick, and I could kind of train myself to not do that while playing off stream. And then also just pressing the R1 button and square more, so Torneko freezes in place and doesn't just move on his own volition. All just a bunch of tricks that I picked up to not have my controller screw me over like it did last time. And I think all of that really helped to make this more enjoyable. Because I'll be honest, last time with all the controller problems, I did feel like it was really, really annoying, but I knew it wasn't the game's fault, so I couldn't even pin it on the game. It was just my fault for using faulty hardware, I guess. And now that I can kind of like play around it better, I can appreciate the game more for what it is. And I do enjoy the mystery dungeon gameplay loop quite a bit. I still think this game is not quite there yet, but it has a lot of really nice improvements when compared to the first one. I do like the melding system, even though it does feel like it would get broken really quickly. But you know, that's also something that has its own merit. Because, you know, you struggle early on a bit, and after putting in the work, because you do still have to beat Toro Ruins to even get to where you can meld. So it's not like you can just get really broken gear from the very beginning. You still need to get through most of the dungeons in the game without it, just using what you can find. And I do like that all the dungeons kind of had their own gimmicks. Especially with the Toro Ruins, I did think that was a really cool thing to do. Having all the items you can find be staffs, and then also having the crystals that reflect the magic from the staffs, so you can like use the healing magic from the heal staffs on yourselves. Tricks like that is just super cool to me. $8,500. Cancelled. No, I got cancelled. I just want to make sure that I only picked the correct items. Yeah, that looks good. I'm still saving up the outside scrolls, even though I have like a page of them. I don't know why. Wait, 8,500. Did I pick something else this time? Red, Big Paws, Radiant Defense, Tie Down, Haven, Outside, Super Herb Flame. No, I don't know what I was thinking there. Well. Okay. Depositing that money as well. We are now up to 83,900. 2 more runs like that, and we've got it in the bag. Okay. Let me just really quickly drink some water. And then we're gonna move and go right back into Mount Fiery. We love going into Mount Fiery. Mount Fiery is the place to be. Ah, right, I did not put the outside scroll into the storage. Oh yeah, also speaking of storage, Awesome done, your storehouse can now hold up to 140 items. I'm not finished with the repairs yet, though. If you get another 1,000 gold for supplies, give me a shout, boss. I don't know how much more we can increase our storage. But we can now store 140 items. That's 14 pages. We're currently on page 5. Yep. And we can still increase our storage capacity. Like, bro, how much bigger is that gonna get? Well, since we're working on getting our savings up there, we're not gonna pay for that right now, though. Because those 1,000 gold could make the difference between this being 2 more runs or 3 more runs. And this is also me basically showing you what you missed in between streams. Because this is what I was doing for like 5 more runs in between Tuesday and today. It was just me running through Mount Fiery again and again, picking up the equipment, selling everything I didn't want to keep, and then using all the equipment that had pluses to meld with my sword and shield. And then, like I said before, after I felt like my equipment was good enough, I did go into the Lost Forest twice to get some abilities on my sword, because I was not finding any swords with abilities, only shields. But we had already seen that you could buy swords with special abilities. Oh, hey! Klein CD! The small CD with the big pockets. Thank you for following. Oh, hidden rock, but not a problem. Nice. But yeah, to get some abilities on my sword, I then also did 2 runs of the Lost Forest with I always took 10,000 gold with me. Yeah, I always took 10,000 gold with me. Usually left the dungeon with 4,000 to 6,000, even when I bought something, so I did get some money back. Just from what was lying around in the dungeon. And that was just kind of the 5 runs in between that you missed. They were pretty boring. Except for, you know, the items I got. And I was considering just keeping all the items in storage and then doing all the melding in the beginning of this stream. But that also felt like padding out the stream unnecessarily. Which I'm now realizing would have maybe not been a bad thing, since the one and only magical dungeon run went by so fast. But hey, hindsight is always 20/20. Yeah, this is basically what I did in the Mount Fiery runs. Just go through it with strong weapons. I only started using the strong weapons after like 2 runs without, because I didn't want to risk them at first, but then when they had like plus 12 and stuff like that, I was like, okay, you know what? I think at this point, if I lose it, it's my own goddamn fault, and I'll just have to live with it. And then I started actually taking my equipment with me. And here you can see how easy that makes Mount Fiery if you have strong equipment like that. And then, like I said, I would use the equipment with pluses to improve my already pretty good gear and sell everything else. And that's how you basically grind in this game. It does feel more rewarding than the first one, I'd say. Because in the first one, it's just like, oh, will you find good weapons? Will the RNG bless you with a good sword? And if not, then, well, tough luck. While in this game, you can actually work up to a good sword and shield. And that will both help you because it makes everything easier, but also brings in an additional risk factor. Because if you then lose everything, you also lose all the time you put into your equipment. And obviously you don't want that to happen, because that would mean, ouch, spikes. That would mean all your time was essentially wasted, which would probably be a real feel-bad moment. And I'm just really glad that it didn't happen to me, because then I probably wouldn't have such a positive opinion of this game. It's definitely not like a masterpiece, but it is a really nice, fun time. If you are in any way a fan of roguelikes and roguelites, and like for me especially, it has the additional bonus of being part of the Mystery Dungeon series, which, similarly to the Dragon Quest series, has been a big part of my life through Pokemon Mystery Dungeon specifically, but also being intrigued by Shiren the Wanderer, and then, you know, finding out that Mystery Dungeon started out as a Dragon Quest spin-off was just kind of this really fun connection between 2 series that, independently from one another, shaped my childhood. And yeah, like I said, I don't think this is like in any way a masterpiece. Like something like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky is. But it has really really nice improvements over the first one, which was still like a decent game. And yeah, I'm just really glad that now that I've actually played these games, I did end up enjoying them. Because sometimes when you hear a lot about games or you read up on like the history of a series where you enjoy one specific entry, sometimes it can be a bit daunting to then try out an earlier entry because, you know, what if it's just not as good as the sequels? What if it's not as good as the one you like? What if it's actually bad and the one you like is the only one that's actually good? Or even worse, what if the flaws of the bad game you played then make you realize the flaws in that game that you played before, and it's making you look at it in an entirely different way, and suddenly you become completely disenchanted with one of your favorite games. Maybe I'm the only person who thinks about stuff like that. Well, not the only person, but like one of the very few people, and most people just don't see it like that. I don't know, I often say stuff like, oh, maybe I'm the only one, when just statistically speaking, with how many people there are in the world, you're never the only one. There's always, like, some other people out there who think about stuff similarly. But I don't know, it's just one of those expressions that I keep using despite like technically knowing that it's factually incorrect. I don't know, it's just not something I mean literally when I say it. It's very exaggerated. But yeah, I do definitely think about stuff like that sometimes when going back to like historically important pieces of media. Oh, what if it turns out I don't actually like it? And sometimes that turns out to be the case. Like, I am an outspoken hater of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. That is an incredibly celebrated piece of film. Something that media professors love to talk about. Oh, and the suspense in that movie is so well done, and I am just an absolute hater of The Birds. And it's not like I hate all of Hitchcock's work. He was definitely a very influential director. But you always hear about The Birds, and The Birds is just not an enjoyable film to me. And even when it comes to suspense, other pieces of Hitchcock's filmography just feel like better creative works as a whole. And it's always that one fucking scene that people show as an, oh shit, melded shield. That one fucking scene that people show as an example of, oh, how good the suspense is, with the woman, I forgot her name. Honestly, I forgot everyone's names in that film. But you know, her waiting outside of the playground, and then all the crows slowly sitting down on the, I don't know what it's called, but the playground thingy where you climb on it. No, they all start sitting down there, and every time the camera cuts to it, there's more birds sitting there. And come on, that's... I guess it's a good example to show to students, just because it's so basic. But it's also really fucking basic, and that makes it boring. I don't know, for me, there was no suspense building up about, oh, the birds are gonna get her. Because yeah, the birds are gonna attack, that's kind of what this whole movie is about. There's no real suspense there. And even when it comes to like, oh, maybe you're just wondering what the... Why the birds are doing that, there's no answer to that. It's just, yeah, the birds are kind of just fucking doing that. What are you gonna do about it? And of course, as a horror fan, not everything needs an explanation. Sometimes it's better not to explain something. But just, oh, the birds suddenly start attacking everyone is just a really weak premise, I guess? Well, I guess it's not the premise because it is technically based on a short story that does some way more interesting things with the concept, but the movie just does not capitalize on that at all. And that was my rant for today. I think I've talked enough about the birds. This wasn't even the first time talking about it on stream. Which just goes to show you how much of a hater I am of it. But yeah, I'm glad that with the Dragon Quest series so far, for all the games that I went back to play that I hadn't played before, there wasn't one where I was like, oh yeah, this actually sucks. They were all like decent to really good. And that makes me happy. Even though I think the more we enter the territory of maybe more experimental spin-offs, the higher the chance becomes of me running into a game that I just don't enjoy. But so far, this is like, what, game number 9? So far, I've liked all of them, at least somewhat. And that does bode well for the future of this giant-ass project that I burdened myself with. Like, I think we are now getting close to me having put 200 hours across all the games into this project. Oh yeah, also considering that we got the melded shield. And our dragon shield is plus 28. I think after we've saved up all 100,000 gold, we're just gonna see how much it'll cost us to put all those pluses onto the melded shield. Because the price does depend on the base shield that you're using and how many pluses you're giving it. So, for example, if we give +2 to the Dragon Shield, the Dragon Shield has like a base price of, what was it? 350? Something like that. So, if we put 2 pluses on it, that's 700 gold. So, if you just keep adding up a low amount of pluses every time you do a run, you get that money back just through the dungeon runs. However, now that we have a +28 shield with 6 abilities that we want to put onto the Metal Shield because it has higher base defense than the Dragon Shield, that's gonna cost us quite a bit more. You know, just because I'm curious, I think I want to check that out right away. But first we're gonna deposit the money here. And now we need exactly, well, not exactly because there's the 653, but we need about 10,000 more. So let's just check at the melding shop. How much would we have to pay to put all the bonuses of our Dragon Shield onto our Metal Shield? Meld. We're gonna meld the Metal Shield as the base item. Yes. Then we're gonna put all of our Dragon Shield's bonuses on that. That's less than I expected. It's still 12,700 gold, but I totally expected that to be way more expensive. Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna be like the last thing, I guess, that we're gonna do. Because for now we're still saving up, and I don't want to take 12,000 gold out of my savings when we're so close. So instead we're gonna store the outside scroll and the Metal Shield, and then get right back to work. Mount Fiery. Ah, come on. Ah. Okay, now my controller's starting to act up. Well, could have started to do that at a worse time, so you know what? We can deal with it. We can completely deal with it using our powered up equipment in Mount Fiery. This is not a problem. I wonder if we are gonna need another run. Because 10,000 gold in one run seems like a pipe dream. But it is possible. It really just depends on the items we can find and if we maybe pick up some more money than we did last time. Because it can vary quite a bit. Just based on how many items you find, which items you find, if you find some money, how big the floors are, because if the floor is bigger, there's more chances for something to spawn. So I guess that just plays into the first thing I mentioned, but you know, just based on all these variables, you can get more or less out of any given run. For example, this was a pretty big floor, but we didn't get that many items out of it. We got 2 scrolls, 1 sword. Considering how big this floor was and how many rooms there were, that could have gone better, but we did beat enough enemies to get to level 3 on floor 1, which is better than average. Usually I get to level 3 at the beginning of floor 2 in Mount Fiery. So, hey, come on. So getting to level 3 on floor 1 already tells me that we fought more than usual on that first floor. So there were more enemy spawns, but less item spawns. And you kind of gotta work on figuring all of that out for yourself, like what's a good level to get to the next floor, how many items can you expect, at which point do you need to worry about the enemies becoming stronger again. I kind of need to work all of that out for yourself here, because information about this game is pretty scarce, not very reliable, because it's mostly just very old guides on game facts and things like that. Like I even in the first stream of this game, I even gave the wrong release date because one website that I used to check information just had the wrong date listed. So, yeah, this being more of an obscure game and an older game that people don't really care too much about anymore, which is kind of sad because it is a nice game, but yeah, all of that plays together to make information more hard to get. You can definitely still find quite a bit about it, because it at least got an English release, you know. Not every game in the series gets that privilege. But, yeah, it's still pretty obscure, didn't sell that well in the US. Actually, it was kind of a flop in the US, so it did pretty well in Japan, but when it came to the US, most people just did not care too much for it. Maybe it was also a problem with marketing. I don't know how much Enix put into marketing for the game at the time. I wasn't there. You know, I was born, but I was not yet in a state of mind that I could have picked up on it, even if I was living in the US, which I am not. So, yeah, I don't know how they were doing when it comes to, like, advertising this game at the time. But considering they didn't even bring over 5 and 6 to the US, I'm guessing a lot of people just weren't really interested in a game like this, because what is this series? I don't even know. Like, you gotta consider the last mainline Dragon Quest game that came out in the US before this was Dragon Quest IV on the NES. And then you had a Game Boy Color spin-off and a PlayStation spin-off years later. If you then don't, like, put in the money to advertise the game to the people, and you also factor in the very mixed reviews for this game at the time, it really is no wonder that it didn't do well. But yeah, because of that, it's just really hard to find reliable information about it. Even though you at least find some things. Unlike something like Shonen Yangus. Because Shonen Yangus, the mystery dungeon game that is a spin-off of Dragon Quest VIII specifically, just has nothing. I'm interested in that game, or I've been interested in that game for so long now because Dragon Quest VIII is one of my favorite games of all time, and I do love the mystery dungeon formula, and having a combination of both of that, featuring a young version of one of the best characters in Dragon Quest VIII, just always seemed very appealing to me. But that game has no official English release, not even a fan translation, and I don't even fucking know what the story is about. Oh. I was like, wait, there shouldn't be shadows in here. Why can I not move? And it is because my analog stick has now decided to work against my my actual arrow buttons. Also, we're stepping into a bunch of mines here. Almost like we're playing Minesweeper instead. And yes, I do know that you lose Minesweeper if you activate one of the mines, but that is what it looks like when I play Minesweeper. I think I have not actually played Minesweeper in forever. Yo, Minesweeper stream when? Oh, army ant calling for help. That just means I take out 2 of them. This looks like a very weird corridor, but it seems like this was actually generated like that, and it wasn't just because the army ants were bored. Okay, but that is because of them. Okay, so I guess the exit is actually down here. Hi, trick bag. How's it going? Ooh, that's a nice amount of gold. Ah, and now our inventory is packed. Ah, that's a miss. There we go. What do we have here? A strength seed. Nice. Sure. Not necessary, but definitely appreciated. Tie-down scroll. Do I have anything I would want to use, maybe? Oh, I can use a bread. Tie-down scroll is definitely worth more than a bread. And having like 50 extra belly means I can probably get through this dungeon without eating any more now. God damn it. Yeah, now we really have the controller issues again. I don't know what it is, why it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But oh boy, am I glad that we didn't have these issues in the actual magical dungeon like this. That would have been a nightmare. Especially since I had to maneuver around the dragonfire and all of that. But here with the army ants and the flames, that's no problem. We're fine. We're completely fine. Okay, I think I can check up here still. But there's no items, just some... Oh, trick bag. You have some money. Okay. But I guess that's it for this floor. Okay, we could immediately leave, but I at least want to check around. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, yeah. I wasn't even done with one of my thoughts when I said that, like, oh, the people who said this game was hard probably didn't have the baseline of the first one to compare it to. There was an or after that I didn't get to. Because there's also the possibility that they were children. Because of course, who would a game like this appeal to? With like the silly funny characters on the front and the claymation art style that they've used for the US box art, but children. So if someone got this game back in the day, it was mostly children. And I've read like forum entries from people who played this as a kid and they were like, oh yeah, I died like 4 times in the first dungeon. Yeah, I think I am kind of in a different state of mind than those kids now at 26. Because I can totally see someone struggling with like some of the later stuff, some of the later dungeons. But the first dungeon, that thing has 3 floors. There's not much happening there. Those kids have to have been very young and then never touched the game again or something. Because, goddamn. But yeah, if they were like really young children, I can totally see someone even struggling with the first dungeon, because as I said, the first Mystery Dungeon game did not make it out of Japan. Shiren the Wanderer, I don't know if it actually got a release outside of Japan. At least until the DS version, because that was the one I used to see in stores as a kid. Shiren the Wanderer Mystery Dungeon for the DS. But yeah, with the earlier ones, I'm not sure. And considering it was like a Mystery Dungeon only series, I kinda don't really see that being a thing. I think Chocobo Mystery Dungeon got at least a US release though. But don't quote me on that, I would have to look that up before saying that with any certainty. But still, like even then, this is a big departure from like the usual RPG playstyle, and just getting used to it would probably take some time. And you know, I have the added benefit of having played the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games as a kid, and also just having played the first Torneko no Daiboken earlier this year. So, of course, I understand how to play these games better than like an 8-year-old that just got this game for Christmas because of the funny claymation characters or something. But, you know, the harsh difficulty was also something that was criticized in like actual reviews of the game at the time. So I don't know if it really was just because a lot of the people who played this back in the day were kids. Maybe I do just have that added benefit over the people who critiqued this game at the time. You know, the benefit of hindsight and getting to know about some mechanics beforehand and already being familiar with some of the enemies' behaviors from the first game, so I don't have as much to learn. And in general, like, roguelike gameplay loops are way more mainstream nowadays than they were back in the day. And yeah, through that alone, you approach a game like this way differently. Because, like, dying is part of the game. It's not something to be ashamed of in a game like this, because the whole idea is you die, but every time you do die, while you do get punished a little bit through, for example, losing half your money, you learn. And you learn how to approach the enemy that killed you better. You learn how to use your items better. You learn how certain traps work that spawn in a dungeon. And then you learn to play around them. You learn what you have to expect in any given dungeon, and through that you get a little better every time. And just that mindset alone is probably something that does a lot in how you interact with a game like this. So maybe that is also something that plays into it. Just roguelikes being more of a thing and more of a mainstream thing nowadays, leading to me approaching this game differently than people did back in the day. I like that we can just keep the Box of Happiness music playing by keeping it open. That's very fun. Ooh, see, we got a silver +3. We're gonna keep that. And then just sell everything else, I think. We've got an outside scroll here, but we have so many, I think we can sell one. And that's gonna be 6,400. Oh, we're so... Wait, no, we've got it, right? Because we had like a few hundred extra. Yeah, we got it. Now we've got 100,141 gold saved up. What do we get? 3 blank scrolls. And the next one is at 200,000. Okay, yeah, that's gonna take a little longer, I think. Oh yeah, also let's check our adventure memo. We haven't done that. Blank list. Ah, that's all the scrolls we have found and that we can write onto a blank scroll. So there's still a few scrolls that we haven't even found yet. Or... yeah, no, I think that's ones that we found. Displays the full map including locations. No, I think we've used that. So I'm not sure if this is specifically roles we've found. I keep saying rolls instead of scrolls. If this is scrolls we've found or that we've used. Either way, there's still a bunch of them that we haven't seen. There's the skill list. I don't know what that does. And there's a spell list. I guess that's maybe for the job system that we heard about. But what I actually wanted to check out here is on the high score screen. Whoa, look at that. 111123. From deep in Magic Dungeon. And it took us exactly an hour. That was our 38th time running through a dungeon. Succeeded and returned safely. And after that was... oh! Still our Total Ruins run. I thought maybe one of my like Lost Forest runs would have overtaken it. But no, our Total Ruins run is still our second best. Yeah, it even shows you all the or how long you took. Oh, hey, look at this. 6 times. That was, I think, our first run through Lost Forest. Yeah. That's neat. But that's still our 6th best run. Oh, wait, I wanted to check the exploration log as well. You know, we're kind of just killing time right now. So we might as well check that out. I haven't really looked into that. So yeah, we've done 41 explorations. Our highest level was 32. We had a highest HP count of 177. We got there with 56,083 experience points. Our highest strength was at a different time though, and we had a strength stat of 10, which is only 2 strength seeds in addition to our base strength. The most gold we've earned says is 59,280. That seems wrong. Maybe it's just how much was the highest amount of gold that we've carried at one point. So if we would now take all our money from the bank, it would show the 100k. The most turns on one floor were 1,347. So that's a bit over half the time you have on one floor. The most monster slain was 272. We have defeated the Darkevil Chest. Magic Dungeon unequipped. Read the Monster Scroll More Magical Dungeon. Ordeal Mansion, Sword Dungeon, and Mage Dungeon. There's a lot of post-game stuff here, I see. Cleared level 0 of the well. Oh yeah, the well something we can look at as well. Okay, we've got nothing on here. Defeated while dancing. Oh, thanks. Thanks for reminding me of that. Returned alive 27 times. Okay, yeah. 27 out of 41 times. Did I really die that many times? Wow, did not feel like it, I'll be completely honest. It really did not feel like I died 14 times. But I guess I did. And our playtime was just under 16 hours. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there that we can still fill out. Okay, but now... Oh, you know what? I think we're just gonna go all out. We're just gonna take all our money. Hello. Gonna withdraw all of it. Now that should also be our highest money earned, if I understand it correctly. But more importantly, we're now gonna use all that money to get not only an incredibly strong metal sword, but also an incredibly strong metal shield. And we're also gonna put all the other stuff on there. Because, you know, why not? 900 gold. See, it's already way less expensive because we now have everything on the metal shield already. $450. Well, there we go. And you know what? I kind of want to take our new and improved shield for a maiden voyage. Oh wait, I can't actually. I was thinking about just going through the first dungeon, the odd field, and being like, haha, see how strong we are now, but we can't take any items in there. So that's not gonna work. But yeah, look at this. We still have 86,000 gold left. Well, I'm kind of... Wait, can I take items to the graveyard? Does that work? Or does this also have a limit? Not take items into here. Okay.
Even after changing jobs, you can enter the dungeons you have already completed. If you do, there may be new discoveries. Or perhaps not. All sorts of magical events take place in our village. Some are major, while many others are much more trivial. Even if you're not an explorer, every day is an adventure. But for that very reason, I love it here. Torneko, you should listen to the melody of joy and discover new moments of magic.
Hey, what do you think has been playing in the background all this time?
Get warped into a dungeon with Remy's Disperse spell, and come back immediately using an outside scroll. Wouldn't that be a great idea as an instant adventure that anyone can enjoy? I wonder if it would work as a business.
That seems like just wasting a bunch of money. But, you know, what do rich people like more than wasting money? Not much. Aren't pillow rats the most adorably cute things they are, aren't they? You know? They are kind of cute, but this game specifically has taught me to be wary of them. So no, I don't agree. You're the one that's not cute. Aww. Aww. That's not nice. Okay, what if I say yes? I want a pillow rat plushie doll. I wonder if you can make one by using an itemizer staff. Okay, but what is that about the job change? You're a merchant now. What do you want to be? Okay, so we can become a warrior or a mage. Oh, too bad. But what does that actually get us? Well, that might be something to discover once we return to this game to actually tackle some post-game content. Because I think for now, I've stretched this out for long enough. We've beaten the final boss over an hour ago, and I was just sloshing around, talking to people, grinding money. Even though you restored peace like always, you just can't sit still. But dear, I think I must have come to like how you are always chasing after something. I love you, dear. Mwah. Aww. I think it's pretty funny how the Darkevil Chest statue is even like locked away here. Like you can't get to it, while the others are just kind of out in the open. But yeah. I think that's just gonna be it for today. I kinda don't want to save and end because I want to listen to the music some more, because I like this arrangement. But yeah, you know. I think we are just gonna end it here. Gonna save. And that's Torneko the Last Hope. Definitely a much smoother ride compared to the first one. And I did enjoy it quite a bit. I'm really glad to have played this. And now I'm even more sad that buying a physical copy in English is so freaking expensive. Goddamn collectors making me pay hundreds of euros for my video games. That's just kind of how, you know, secondary markets go. It kinda sucks sometimes, but what can you do?